Hey, hello and welcome back. If this is your first time watching this videos, which I put out every month, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. If you're constantly coming back and watching this, I really do appreciate your time. Hopefully, sharing some information that's helpful for you as we cover the real estate market in San Marcos. In this video, we're going to be covering two communities after we cover overall market trend. We're going to be covering Santa Fe Hills and also Rancho Santalina, which is next door to us. It's only about 200 homes there, so not a lot of activity happens there because of the size, but I'm added on so I don't have to do two videos, okay? So first of all, if you don't know who I am, my name is Orzhel. I'm a broker owner of Realty Max. We've been serving San Marcos community, gosh, for probably the last 17 years. I've been doing this myself for 22 years. So hopefully I will be able to share some pearls of wisdom as I'm speaking here, okay? So let's start overall the market itself. My newsletter is out now, so let's see if I can pop it up and throw myself here as well. So my newsletter is out here for May, and I'm covering some things I always cover, but number one, I'm going to be covering mortgage rates, insurance disaster, because insurance is homeowner insurance is a disaster point at this point. I'll touch on NIR noise, the ruling, see what really it means for you as a seller and the buyer, and then I'll have a plug for myself and much value, okay? So that's all I want to talk about right now. So let's start with mortgage rates. Mortgage rates have kind of more or less, let me see if I can bring this up, have gone down slightly since the beginning of this month. They were about 7.2, 7.25, 7.25, and they're down to about 7.09. Nothing substantial, but like I said, it's a lot better than we had in 23, where they were close to 8%. Now, the actual rate will vary depending on your credit score, how much money you're putting down, etc. But what you're seeing here, the 709, is really just a ballpark, and it's a par rate, meaning you still would have to pay out of pocket origination fees, other fees that have to do with mortgage origination and creating the mortgage itself. So overall, if you would get the mortgage, you would probably wrap all that cost in it, and ultimately the APR, which includes all those costs, would be around 7.4% or so. Just giving you a ballpark. Don't keep me to it, but I'm just giving you a ballpark. And I think most of you already know that I do mortgages as well. We don't do a lot of them, but we do it for our buyers and our past clients, okay? So if you do have a mortgage, you want to refinance, you want to pull some money out, feel free to reach out, and I'll see what I can do for you. So that's out of the way. Let's look at the next thing. The next thing I want to talk about is insurance, an insurance disaster. And it really is a disaster because for many people, the insurance rates have triple or quadruple. Really have gone crazy. As you know, a lot of insurance companies, big ones, are not writing policies in California anymore, and same goes for a lot of smaller ones. It seems like there's very few options available to get homeowners insurance, and getting very expensive, especially if for some reason you're even close to what is considered by the insurance industry as being a fire zone. Crazy. I know it's crazy, but again, I think the California regulations are pushing a lot of insurance companies out of this area. Why bother? Obviously they're in the business of making money, and if they can do better in other states, they're going to take their chances, because otherwise they're going to have losses. So that's what's going on right now. By the way, like I said, the FAIR plan is still there for California. I do have some resources, so if you're running into an issue with insurance, feel free to drop me a line, give me a call. I'll see if I can put you in touch with some people who could possibly help you. But like I said, so just so you know, I've had the same issue as you have. I have some investment properties as well, where I don't see anything even close to being, any kind of wildlife or shrub, or anything that could, I think, cause any kind of a fire. But insurance have tagged them as such, and it was very difficult for me to get an insurance policy. And for me, it doubled, for example. So it's just the way things are. But again, if you need some resources, feel free to reach out, and we'll take it from there. So what else I want to talk about? I want to talk about the NAR really quick. Look, as I mentioned before, if you listened to me before, it's a lot of noise, a lot of garbage. It really doesn't serve the consumer, primarily the people who got, the people who were part of this lawsuit. And I'm sorry if I'm being derogatory, but they really are useful idiots. As far as the attorneys go, that's what they are. Useful idiots, chumps. Ultimately, the people who complain about it in Missouri and sign up for this class action suit, they're going to get maybe $100 each, a couple of $100 each. That's it. That's all they're going to get. The attorneys are the ones that are going to end up with hundreds of millions of dollars from this lawsuit, literally. Okay, and this always works the same way for this class action suit. It really didn't do anything. It kind of made things worse. Number one, what it did before, when you hire me to sell your house, you would agree to the amount we agree. I don't want to talk specifics. Let's say it's 5%, 6%, 7%. It doesn't matter. The point is, out of that money, I would spend money on marketing your property. And the other part of it is for me to advertise to all the agents that are part of our MLS. And sometimes it goes outside of our MLS into, LA, different areas who maybe know a buyer looking in this area. Basically, what it would tell them is the compensation amount. So there'd be a compensation amount that I would pay out of my commission that I agreed with the seller to entice those agents to work with me and bring buyers in. I mean, this is an advantage for the seller because the more demand we can create, the more people we can pull towards your property, the higher the end price will be, meaning you're reaching a higher goal. So, I mean, the whole thing of litigation right now is now where we're able to actually clearly state how much of a compensation the buyer agent would get by working with us. Now that is have been eliminated. So now we have to go around and the buyer agent will have to reach out to us and see if we can find a way to do it. And in some cases, like I said, if the seller does not want to pay whatever, that property is not going to get shown because in most cases, in many cases, the buyers now have to pay directly to their buyer's agent. So they can have an agreement they have to sign before anything happens. So if that agreement says that, the buyer will pay their agent 2.5%, meaning they have to pay out of pocket, right? That's going to take money away from down payment, right? So guess what's going to happen? The price that's going to be offered for the property is going to go down as well. Really, it serves no one. It's a lot of noise. It really hasn't done anything at all. But the people who are going to get hurt about this the most are going to be people that don't have a lot of money to put down, right? First-time buyers, because now not only they have to take the money that they've saved to put down, and now they have to somehow pay their agent whatever that number is, 2%, 2.5%, because everybody needs to get compensated for the work they do. So that's going to basically, in some cases, create a situation where they're not going to be able to show properties, right, that you have. So look, if you're a seller, the smart thing for you is to do what you always done, is to show or have a compensation out to the buyer's side. We're not going to be able to show it on the MLS. The whole purpose of MLS is to share that information, but we're going to be able to talk about it. The buyer agent will have to call us directly. Sometimes we can always present it on our website, etc. So there's going to be a way to work around it. But the point is, a lot of people who really have one leg down because they don't have enough money to buy, etc., will have to have another hoop they have to jump through. Same thing for VA buyers, right? Our veterans, they can't pay. That's the law. They cannot pay any compensation to their agent, their buyer, if they're working with a buyer agent. So now, if the seller says, "Well, I don't want to pay," guess what? Their house will not be shown, which is kind of it doesn't make any difference. Either you pay or you take off the price. It's all equal. It really is not going to matter much. Anyway, I'm kind of going too far in this thing. I don't want to really beat it with a dead horse. That's really the whole compensation agreement. There's going to be some verbiage that is going to kind of look at this and take a look. Anyway, I want to come back to rates for a second. The reason I want to come back to rates because I speak to a lot of sellers. And a lot of sellers tell me, look, are we going to wait to sell until the rates go down? But I want you to think through this. Because what's going to happen is when the rates go down, let's say they go down to 4. and say that happens, all that's going to happen is we're going to increase the buyer pool. We're going to have more buyers wanting this little inventory that we have, which is going to push your price up and also going to push the price up of what you want to buy next. Okay? So now you're paying a lower rate, but you're paying, let's say, you're going to pay 10% or 15% more on the same house that you could have bought for 10, 15% less. Okay? Now, if you do this now, right, if you buy this, sell and buy now, I know you're going to pay higher interest rates, but if those interest rates go down, if they do, right, you're going to be able to refinance, and you locked in a certain price already, right? And you have some kind of a assurance that you're already in the house you want. So if you are thinking of waiting for the rates to come down, I want you to really take another thought about that. And like I said, if you really want to discuss the differences, always feel free to reach out to me, text me, email me. We'll get a time we can talk and see if I can help you. Okay, so I want to touch on that. Also, the last thing I want to touch before we go into the market, I want to touch, and this is concerns seniors. If you're 55 plus, there's multiple programs. I think it's Proposition 19 or 1690. It's been reworked slightly, and you can call me. We'll talk about it. You can look it up if you like. But basically what happens is, if you're a senior and you bought a house 20 years ago for $200,000, right? You're paying your property taxes based on that amount of $200,000 plus that 2% increase per year. If you want to buy a house, right, you want to move into a different area and buy a less expensive house. For example, let's say your house is now $800,000, right, and you want to buy a house that's $700,000, $750,000. You can actually take that, whatever you're paying for your house now, the taxes, and you can move them to the new house. It's a one-time thing. You can do it within 2 years of selling your house, but it is available. So if you want to know more about the program, you're 55 plus, feel free to reach out. We'll talk about it some more. Another thing for 55 plus. Now, if you want to buy a house, but you want to go up, step up, right? So let's say your house is $1 million. You want to go to 1.5 million, right? At the same time, you bought your house 15 years ago at $500,000. So now your taxes that you're paying, property taxes, are based on the $500,000 amount. Now, if you sell your home for $1 million and you go to 1.5 million home, what's going to happen is you're going to use the basis, so whatever you're paying now, and the only additional tax you're going to have to pay is between the difference between what you sold the house for and what the next house is. So to whatever your basis is, let's say in this case going from 1 million to 1.5 million, they're going to add only $500,000 to whatever you're paying, meaning the value, and you're going to be paying taxes on that value. So you're going to be saving a substantial amount of tax dollars on buying another property. So again, if you're 55 plus, feel free to reach out and we kind of take it from here. So let's jump back into this thing here. Let's see if I can get myself smaller here. Boom. All right, and let's jump into here. Let's go back here. I have two here open. Okay, let's talk about Santa Fe, right? Santa Fe Hills, let's talk about it. So as you can see here, we have 3 properties still in the market. 1036 Tesoro, 68 days in the market. 5 days, 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2431. Originally it was a 1,250,000. Now it's 1,189,000. Look, I know you're not an expert. What do you think is going on with this property? Do you think this property is not going to sell or sell? Maybe you can put a comment below the video and tell me what's going on. Another one that just came on the market recently, 732 Via Barquero, 11 days in the market. It's a largest KB plan, 5 bedroom, 3 bath. Let's see, they're asking 1,390,000, right? Okay, well, we'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. I think it's a little excessive. It does have a view. I think the last one I sold there was 1,300,000, and I really hit it out of the park when I did that. That was about a year ago. Not quite sure if it's going to happen or not, but we'll find out soon. Another one that's been in the market forever, 819 Avenida Codorniz, 70 days in the market. 70 days, guys. Hot market we're in now. 4 bedroom, right? 3 bath, 3334. This is the largest KB home. They're asking 1,422,000. Looks like they had a reduction to 1,333,000. 70 days in the market. Okay, what do you think is going to happen to this one? You think they're going to get their money? I don't know. The market's saying no, so we'll see what happens. Again, just keep in mind, this is the hottest market we've had. Okay, so let's talk about pendings. We have one 735 Via Cafetal, which is a bigger home. It should be closing soon. 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 3555. It's on the west side of Las Posas, by the lake over there. Asking price is 1,380,000. Now there's a different homes from KB. They have a tendency of selling for more. I don't know what this is going to sell for. We'll kind of come back next month. We'll cover it. 22 days in the market, so we'll see what happens. Another one pending is 762 Camino Magnifico, 4 bedroom. I believe it's 2.5 bath, and this is 2264 square feet. 1162 was asking price. It was in the market for 28 days. I'm assuming there was a price reduction. We'll see when it hits next month. We'll cover it at that point. Again, we have another one at 710 Via Barquero that is currently in escrow. This one was 3 bedroom, 2 bath, smaller home. It's a single story, 1865. It was on for 998. I know I sold one a couple of months ago on the same site. It had a pool, but we closed it at $1,000,000. God, I want to say 30 something. I don't remember anymore. Anyway, and this one's in the market for 10 days, so we'll see what happens to this one. Okay, let's talk about the next one. Via Barquero, 848. Now this one, 5 bedroom, 3 bath. It is on the view side. They were asking looks like 1.3 almost. 5 bedroom, 3 bath. 7 days in the market. We'll see what this closes at. I'm assuming it's going to close pretty close on that. Now, this is the one I closed recently, 809 Via Barquero, 5 bedroom, 3 bath. This is not one below the biggest model at KB, 2873. Really wasn't a lot of upgrades in the house. They had a balcony up the master. Let's say we were asking $1,150,000, and we were able to close this out at $1,225,000. We had a $75,000 pop-up. Next one, Avenida Amistad, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1762 square feet. 929 was asking price. 957 was the closing price. As you can see, Via Cafetal, I was a little surprised about this, but it is closed. This was also west of Las Posas, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 3307 square feet. It was on a view side, so it's looking over the lake and the new neighborhood. 1325 was the asking price. 1375 was the closing price. This one, 714 Casita Lane. Now this one I think sold for less than it should have, but actually I take that back. This was a 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3035 square feet. It was against the slope. Asking price was 1.2. It closed at 1.2. Honestly, I was a little surprised that it went for that high, but it did. And the last one here is Calle Prospero. It's a 4 bedroom, 3 bath, older home, 1994, 1915 square feet. It was really well done. A lot of upgrades. 999 was the asking price. It closed at $1,061,000, which is about $62,000 above. Okay, so that's all about this, and I'm gonna jump really quick on Santalina. Okay, so as you can see here, there's an active transaction. Now it's not really active. It's 902 Hydra. Now this is the same one that was here. It was originally listed at $1,495,000. It was in the market for 62 days. It dropped to $1,395,000. That's a $100,000 drop, right? And now the list have it back at $1,295,000. $295,000, right? $200,000 down. Now, this is what I'm talking about all the time. You don't want to be in this position where you're chasing the market down. All my stuff, and this is why I provide so much value to people, I make the market basically chase us up. The market chase up us, give us a lot of leverage. Where I have a lot of leverage for you. I can really pull in a lot of offers, create a lot of demand. Besides what I do, as you know, all my homes sell over one weekend, right? So all I need is a couple of hours. Altogether, 3 hours, I believe. Hour and a half Saturday, hour and a half Sunday. We really keep the time really short, and we only show it to people who have shown us they can actually buy it. So we have all the best people basically flooding the house. And by doing that, we create higher competitive environment for the buyers. We create urgency. All those things are absolutely needed to be able to get you the absolute highest price. And also at the same time, everybody knows that offers are in by a certain time, so create a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. I think the young people say FOMO. So all those things come together to really bring you the highest price possible. Anyway, this video has gone way too long. I hope I was able to share some important information for you. Hopefully I was informative. If you have a specific question about any of the listings, or if you're thinking about selling or buying, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to sign off now. This is Orzhel. Thank you so much for staying and listening to me talk. Thank you.